Hey there. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Thank you for joining me once again. Hello, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're doing it on Wednesday, February the 7th, 2024. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you, wherever you're tuning in from. Whether it's here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, over there, in Vancouver, in the middle, Alberta, Saskatchewan, up there in the Northwest Territories, and the Yukon, what's going on in the Yukon, man? Any Yetis yet? Have you seen any Bigfoots, big feets, little teeny feets, medium-sized feets, big hairy apes in the Yukon? Maybe. What's going on down south in the United States? Hello, Mexico. South America, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Venezuela, over there, Nicaragua. Hi there. What's going on in Africa? Hello there in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, in Zimbabwe, back again in Africa. What's going on in New Zealand, Australia, Caribbean islands, North, South Pole, wherever you are. Undiscovered territories. Are there any remaining? Submerged below the depths of the ocean? Perhaps, maybe, but if you're breathing underwater, hello to you too as well. And thank you for joining. If you're an alien watching, hello. If you're an animal that's watching, if you are a chimp with a Neuralink chip in your brain watching, if you're any animal, or if you're a little piglet with chips in your brain watching, learning, observing human behavior, thank you for watching. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, we have a little bit of fun. You can follow me on Instagram if you like, subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos, and check out patreon.com/RobSadger. We just shoot the shit, have some fun, talk about this, that, and the other stuff that's personal to us, stuff that's affecting us or impacting us societally, or at least not even impact. Just go as it's happening. Maybe it's not even impacting you, but it is fun to talk about. It's good to talk about. It's good to get it out. So thank you for joining me. Let's get a sip of this bad boy right here, and we'll get into it. So many amazing things are happening each and every day. I'll say this. I'll start with just going into it, see where it takes us. No particular, where might it lead? I don't know. It might start off with, are you a female out there? Are you a lady out there? I'll tell you what. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the lassies. Shout out to them gals. I'll tell you what, man. If I were a woman, I would wear. But this would, I guess, only work if I were a lady with big tits. I would wear giant. Hold on. Let's start this. Let's do it this way. If I were a lady, ladies, you can take advantage of this idea, because I don't think you all are. So if you've got large tits, what I'd like to do, if I were female, if I had large tits, I would actually probably go around wearing up to 5 sports bras. Like in terms of like when you're entering a new building, when you're getting a new job, when you're going somewhere new, I would hide them puppies. Let's say I've got triple D's, right? Triple just maxed out with rims spinning. I'd wear 5 sports bra. I'd walk in one week, get a job somewhere, or just whatever, or befriend a whole new group or whatever, and go in there with 5 sports bras. So you look compact. So it looks like, oh, there's nothing going on. That's just a decent sized pair of tits. You can still see them, of course, but it's not it's not, wow, look at that. And then what you do, you'd go in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, just wearing the 5 sport, and then eventually, gradually show up removing a pair of the sports bras, maybe go down to 4. So you come back after being a month in the company or the new group of friends that you found, and then you'd remove 1 pair, and then you'd get a little bit bigger, and then they start talking and wondering, that maybe to themselves, maybe amongst each other, and asking, what happened to Becky's tits? But did she get a boob job? They'll say that. Maybe they won't say it to your face. Maybe they will, though. That's eventually what you want to do. And then work that for about another. Hopefully they'll approach you, and if they ask, did you get a boob job? Say yes. Say yes. Say I just want to go a little bit bigger, and I felt like this is gonna help me just be a better version of myself. So go a size back, and then 2 months passes by, remove another layer of these sports bras, let out a little bit more air, if you know what I mean. Let them puppies start to breathe, and they'll be like, man, Becky got another boob job, and just be like, I think this was the right move for me. I wanted to get a little bit more, I just wanted to feel my best and get a little bit, I think this is it for me. I think they'll be like, Becky, it looks great. We loved you, Becky, the way you were with your regular sized tits. You don't need to do it for us. She's like, no, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. This is for Becky. Becky's doing it for herself. And then wait another couple of months and then come back, remove another layer of the old sports bras, get a little bit bigger. They're like, Becky, what are you doing? You're like, I can't help it. This is making me feel great about myself. This is fantastic. It's changed my life. Maybe you'll start, who knows? You're already climbing the ladder at a really good pace. You're already making friends at a really good rate. You already got the promotions and you were on your way from going from CFO to CEO to just like, the merging companies under your name. Remove the name on the building. We're going to put your name, Becky's Building. It was going to happen, but it's going to happen faster now. Wait another couple of months, come back with even bigger tits now. And people here are going to be like, man, Becky doesn't know what she's doing, man. I think maybe this is some sort of body dysmorphia or whatever. But whatever, she's excelling in life nonetheless. So I would do that. I would definitely do that. That's one thing I would do. I would also probably, if I had that option, I'd flip it on people. I'd go release the pups eventually. And then one day go back to wearing all 5 pairs again. And then they'll be like, what's going on? And then you can just be like, I thought about it. It went well for about a year, but I want to get it reduced now. I want to reduce the size of these pups. So that's what I would do if I were female. I don't think you lasses out there, if anybody's got tits, that's something you could do. And it doesn't even need to be, you don't even need to start with like huge tits. You could have like medium-sized tits. Just go flat chested for a month and then come back, let them out, let people see it. I'm just saying, have fun with it. That's what I would do. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it doesn't matter. I don't have them now, so I can't. These are just, these are dreams, aspirations that, if I can, maybe vicariously, I can see people doing that and I can live through you and we can all do a little bit of that. Isn't that right? Ladies and gents, thank you for joining me. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Let's have some fun. I hope you're having fun wherever you are. If your father's name is Seamus, your mother likes it up the anus. Act of love between them might seem heinous. It doesn't matter. It's Wednesday. You let them be. If you're eating box, let's go. Finish up, put it down, sit down, subscribe on the YouTube channels. If you're taking cack to the mouth, also finish them up. Come on, let's go. A little bit. You like it sloppy? You like your podcast sloppy here? Because we do that. Sloppy. We do it, baby, together. But we keep it clean too, I'll tell you that. We clean it up. But whatever you're doing, ladies and gents, I hope you're having fun out there. And that's just something that I've been thinking about. But, it's neither here or there. I'll say this, man. A lot of exciting global events are occurring each and every day. I did see on the YouTubes, and man, it's so fun to see people and like just, different activities, whether it's, pets doing crazy pet shit or just like, people excelling in life, people taking a fall on a bike, whatever it is, whatever, people making food. It's great. It's fantastic. And I know you get global news as well, which is sometimes it could be fun. It could be exciting. I am looking forward to Tucker Carlson sitting down with Vladimir Putin. They're going to be talking about I don't know what. It's going to be interesting to see Vlad Putin come on. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to that. The questions that are on my mind, what is Putin's caviar intake, and also how much puss does he take as well? What is the puss to caviar ratio for Vladimir Putin? That's what I like to know, and other members of global leaders who also dabble in caviar and puss. What's the ratio? What's that medium? Do you have a medium happy? Is it one above the other? Do you simultaneously take a little bit of champagne, a little bit of bubbly, a little bit of whatever, just to get to know people a little bit better? Because you can always talk about the conflicts, this, that, and the other, but let's get to know the people behind it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be exciting. other things as well. There's so many things happening. Gosh, where do I even begin? Let's go. Let's take it because we were talking about briefly. Just Vladimir Putin, Russia. I did hear a Russian astronaut has now spent 800. I believe today's going to be 880, maybe 879, maybe 880, maybe 881. I'm not quite sure. But he's in the 880s. And moving forward, he's going to be, accumulating more days under his belt spent up in the stratosphere up there doing it. So that's one thing that Team Humanity's doing it's interesting. It is interesting. Almost 1,000 days. He's probably going to be around, how long is he going to be up there? I don't know. It's, but he's up in space over 800 days. And it just made me think, man, we're doing it. We're doing it together. This is so fun. It's great. But also, I don't want him to at the same rate, there is that all of us have this now I'm thinking I'm not competitive in things that I can't compete in per se, but at the same rate, I do wonder how I would spend how do each and every one of I get to thinking, man, maybe I can't physically get to space myself, but if a willing female is willing to I get a female who's willing to pop out a couple of eggs. Maybe I just, maybe I exert a couple of swimmers out there, put them in a microwave and just drop kick it into space so that it goes and just, I'll set it on preheat, beep, bop, boop, send it in space, maybe that way I'll get some sort of an edge in terms of accumulating more days. Cause it's man, so it's just different. This guy's been we've all had, not all of us, but most, if you're lucky, you've had the chance to, if you're privileged enough, if you've maybe been to a couple of places, you've seen a couple of, regions in and around your neighborhood, maybe a little bit further out the neighborhood, maybe you had the chance to travel somewhere, but this is space exploration. Not a lot of us get access to it. I just want, it'd be, not now anyway, but in the future it will be so. Mostly likely it'll most likely be that way. But in the meantime, I would like to just be I'm willing to put a couple of sperms in a little cup with a couple of eggs and just a couple of warm blankets and send him off into space. See what happens. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but I don't want this guy to be does he, it depends how he's is he handling it? Is he coming in from space and all of a sudden he's oh man, does he think he's better than us because he spent more time in space, homie? Does he think my height is shrinking, oh look at me, I've been in space, oh I'm getting a little bit of muscle ache, why dude? Because I was in space, he'll say. Okay, all right, I pulled my neck the other day because I sitting on the couch and looking at yeah, you've been in space, sore muscles, this guy. You know what I mean? So is he coming in from that angle, or is he more it's just, I'd like to go to space eventually. Not now, once we get the good equipment, but I'm just saying, again, sperm and an egg, I'll send it out there. Send it out there right now. But how long would you guys and gals, write a comment if you're interested in exploring the spatials. How long do you think you'd last? And just a astronaut suit and a tin can, you and your homies, you and your closest homies, complete strangers, just the best of the best, brought together. They're not homies, but they'll get to be homies and home gals and home, just doing it, just a shuttle in space, a lot of heat, a lot of fuel, a lot of sloppy space endeavors to get in and out of, to just to make it's what it is, baby. So if you'd like to go to space, how long do you think you'd last? Do you think you got what it takes? Should everybody have the chance to go to space? Why are we sending the best of the best anyway? If because you're going, I'm just saying, maybe we should look at this the way we looked at, and I love this place, I've not been yet, I'd like to visit one day. Maybe we should look at it as, maybe we should look at space the way we kind of looked at Australia way back in the day. I'm not going to go into the details, you all know what I'm talking about, but maybe let's not send the best of the best. Maybe send a couple of fellas or ladies with a couple of, misdemeanors, a couple of, B&Es, just, you know what I mean? But whatever, I'm not in charge, of course, and I don't want to be. So NASA, International Space Agency, whatever, dude. You just send more people. All I'm saying is, go with diverse. Go with, send a giant bodybuilder and like a really flexible, tiny Asian female Asian contortionist, so that she can fucking bend into all sorts of little shapes and sizes, and he can like shot put her into further distances if they need to go further on the moon or wherever they happen to land. Who knows? I'm just saying, don't send the same looking dude and ladies who. Why do astronauts all look the same? From like the 80s to the 90s, look up until now, they all look the same. Male, female, pretty much. All I'm saying is, send somebody with a face tattoo. Send somebody with one of those ladies with the split tongues. You know what I mean? See any aliens? You can whip that bad boy out and be like, yo, we're all very much similar. Despite our differences. It doesn't matter. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that people are doing space things. I'm excited about it. But at the same rate, I will say this. Because we are on the topic of space, because we are talking about going to the moon, going to other places, I did hear, but do not be alarmed. I want everybody to calm down. Everybody relax and calm down, please. Do not be alarmed. Do not panic. Do not panic. Do not panic. I said relax. Calm down, everybody. You don't need to panic. I know this is alarming, but you do not need to panic. Please calm down and relax. Get it together, man. Control yourself. Do not lose your shit. Please get it together. We can't have people overreacting over this. People, calm down. Relax. Oh my God. Okay, everybody calm down. Everybody relax. We're all just totally cool about this. Okay, we all know the moon is apparently shrinking, but relax. Oh my God. The moon is shrinking. But I want everybody to remain calm. I don't know what this means. I don't know what it implies, but the moon is shrinking. The inner core of the moon is getting cooler, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the inner core of the moon, fam. But it's making the moon shrink, homie. So I don't know what we're gonna be in store for. I don't know I don't know how fast it's shrinking. It's like the moon is turning there. Oh man, is it me or is it cold in here? You know what I mean? It's like a shriveled little. It's like your shriveled nutsack when it's touching cold water, or it's like your shriveled nutsack when it's just outside. There's no cold water, but it's cold outside. It's like your shriveled nutsack when it's tased. I'm guessing it would shrink. I'm not a expert in tasing. It's like your nutsack when it just cold. The cold will do that. The cold will do that. So it's like a nutsack essentially. That is shrinking. Possible implications for humanity, for team humans. Will it impact the waves of the ocean more, less? Will it make people? Will it let in, if it's shrinking? Will more asteroids? Because now we had that. And how did it start? How did the shrinking of the moon start? If I have to take a stab at this one, I'll say this. Probably I bet you it is self-conscious from seeing other moons and planets and stars on fucking IG and TikTok. And I love IG and TikTok. And I'm not saying that, but there's good and there's bad. Maybe it's seeing too many beautiful filtered suns, stars, planets, and maybe it's getting a little bit self-conscious. Maybe it's thinking to itself, it needs a little bit of oh man, maybe I've been a little chunky monkey out in space. Look at all these. We're discovering new planets, new better, tighter planets, planets that we've not seen before. You know what I mean? Moons. We're discovering whole new moons, potential. We're looking at the Goldilocks, a new planet with its new Earths that resembled planets that resemble the Earth, and potential new moons. We're looking at new moons, and our moon is getting self-conscious. Perhaps this competition is sick. But also competition leads us to it's healthy. It's a little bit of it. So maybe the moon should start to think about the way it looks. Maybe there are better moons. Maybe the moons out there would love you and accept you for you and not other things. But or maybe it's looking at other planets, and maybe other planets too are shrinking for whatever reason. Maybe other moons are shrinking, and it's like picking up, and it's some sort of like mind, like it's like a mind hive of the moons, and the moons are like collectively they're like we should reduce in size just a couple of inches, a couple of feet. Maybe it's like a cyclical thing. I don't know. Should I be worried about asteroids coming in? Should I be worried about where I land on the moon? I know I'm not going today. I know I'm not going tomorrow. But in like 5 to 10 years, homie, with you, who knows what life throws at 5 to 10 years? I might end up on the moon. How do I know where I land? I don't want to land on a portion of the moon where it's like, oh, this is no bueno territories, because one, like in like 10 years, it's gonna shrink. I'm gonna lose all the monies I've invested in my moon acreage. Trying to get me on that fucking scam, son. You're trying to sell me land that's gonna disappear, fam. Trying to get me with a real estate agent that's gonna show me the moon and tell me about the open concept, but it's gonna shrink by the time I get there. You sick son of a bitch. Just in it for the profits, in it for the paycheck. All right, what's it going for? All right, let's talk some numbers. But I know that this property is shrinking, and you go high, I'll go low. You want to start at what are we talking? What are the numbers on the moon properties, fam? What are we talking about right now? Is it a good time to get in? Can I buy the moon? Can I call dibs on the? I just called dibs on the moon, son. I just called dibs on the moon. It's mine. Okay, fine. There's flags on it already, but okay, it's ours. But is it shrinking? Should we be investing in other moons? I do have alternative methods of dealing with this. If the outside is shrinking and if we're losing surface area, man, I think we could step up as a group together. And I think if we just simultaneously, if we all just aim and jerk, dude, if we all aim and jerk to the moon, just let it aim and jerk to the moon. Just if all of our collective sperms like went and just kind of covered the surface area of the moon. If we're losing we might have to do it more than once. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take a lot of aim. It's going to take a lot of effort. And we're going to have to learn how to go on 3 together. It's going to be difficult, but I think it's a challenge that I'm willing to accept. If you're willing to accept it, we'll just accept it together then. Write a comment. Let me know what, I'm open. Weekends work best for me, but again, I'm flexible. Let me know which day of the week if you all want to collectively get together. I don't care if it's a Wednesday or a Tuesday. It's for the moon, dude. Aim and jerk. The collective aim and jerk. Just add a little bit of, you want crust? We'll give you crust. All the men's are ready. Ready to serve. Ready to protect. Ready to show up when nobody else was willing to show up. Okay, everybody was willing to show up. Nobody showed. Doesn't matter, dude. We're willing to show up is what I'm trying to say. If the moon needs saving, fam. If the moon needs it, let's do it. That's what I says. I'll stand with that. I'll stand by it. I'll stand on the side. Under it. I'll support it is what I'm trying to say. I'm in it. With you guys and gals out there. Sip, sip to the gang. I'll say this. This has been something that's been happening more so. At least I've been hearing about it. I've not seen it myself. But I know it's happening because, it's getting reported on more and more, and not just that it's happening in our city in Toronto, but I know it's happening in a lot of cities around the world. I hear it, or I read it. Maybe not in all. Some cities are. We're having a lot of car theft in the city of Toronto. We're having a lot of car theft. Maybe your city too is facing car thieves and car thievery. Maybe cars are getting juked. Maybe cars are getting jacked. Maybe there's shipping containers, maybe there's crews, maybe there's thievery going on. But let me tell you something. It stops here. It stops with us. It stops with Detective Rob Sadger once again showing up to take care of car theft. All I've done is I got the notice. When this phone rings, when I'm sitting in the office, wearing nothing but my boots and multiple ties. That's right, just boots and multiple ties. Waiting for a phone call because Detective Rob Sadry's on the case, goddammit. What hell, ring, car theft is on the rise. Say no more, I'm there. Here, but there. Methods of combating car theft. If you think that this is all fun and games, if you think that people are just like, all willy-nilly willing to give up on their cars just like that, just because this game is about to change, son. We're on your ass. Coming for you right here, right now. You let them know Rob Sadry's on the case. Well, maybe don't mention my name, but let them know someone's on the case. We're all on the case. That doesn't matter who's on the case. The point is that we're on your case, son. Lady out there, you boosting cars, you getting your kicks, you getting your thrills, your cheap thrills, boosting cars, crossing wires, spark, spark plug. When there are plugs, the sparks fly. You plugging something there? Keep plugging then. See how it ends up for you. The way it's gonna go down, we come back with severe punishments, extreme punishments. This is what I propose. If we are having car theft issues, one, be proactive about it. Be proactive about it. Put a nice alarm on your car. Put a nice alarm on your car so that when somebody grabs a door handle, somebody tries to go for a windshield, it'll start screaming, car theft going on, car thief, get him. Maybe some sort of like 3D printed arm that could just pop up with like fingers pointing, index fingers pointing, this guy, thief, catch him, don't really catch him, you know what I mean, thief. Make a scene is what I'm trying to say. Good starts with, being proactive. Second of all, should we perhaps put buttons in put some sort of mechanism in the car so that in case it goes missing, in case it gets juked, we can find it wherever it is, we can press that button and the car will just burst into fire. Fucking goes up in flames. With the people who stole it inside, that's not our concern anymore. You went down that path, and that is the path that you chose. And if you want to burn in that car, then maybe that's what we should. Maybe we should rig all the cars with, but that could potentially go sideways for like owners and just regular. Say maybe we won't burn the cars. Maybe we should consider it at least. Maybe we should say we did at least. Maybe we should at least say we did to the cars. Maybe we should say we did that to the car so that they know the possibilities are endless. You get in the car and the car is just, maybe the car smells really bad. Maybe make your car smell terrible. Maybe every day after you get home from a you're tired. But I get it. Just stop over and just buy some. You see a skunk. You see roadkill. You see skunk. Pick it up. Just dab it all over. Wipe the car inside of the car with skunk ass. Close the door each evening, and let him crack into that. See how it feels. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll have to deal with the stench in the morning, but it's worth it. Okay, fine. Cars kept it, but like if we catch you, and we will. If you don't think we'll catch you, we will. Because this is what happens when you start playing with people's cars. When you start playing with maybe we should maybe we should follow them to their homes, find out who it is that's doing it. Maybe they too probably have a car of their own. Maybe we should see, if you find the people, tons of cameras outside, and there's pros and cons of this, global surveillance state that's, for every other reason, for your safety and security, there's cameras, which are, but maybe if we find them, and most of them get found out, dude. We find out who it is, and we steal their cars. Reverse, and go through the paperwork now. Jimmy, how does it feel? Oh, I gotta call the insurance. I gotta call my, auto manufacturer, whoever's in charge. So make the cars, purchase extremely, purchase high. You don't want to go with good fuel efficiency. Go with a car with terrible fuel efficiency. That way, maybe that's not what they're. But if it's like a niche little sports car that's also got like a V8 or a V12, maybe they're into that. I don't know what. Point is, if we find out who you are, knees are getting broken, elbows are getting just, we will hit you in the funny bone, son. We will, you've seen movies, you've seen what they do in movies. Now 10x it, 10x that shit. Do you want to sit in a chair in an interrogation room getting interrogated for 72 days? That's right, you thought we were going to go with hours. This is real life, 72 days. You connected to a whole bunch of gangs that are working globally together. So you're running something with, this is how it starts. We break knees, ankles, pinky fingers. We, just collarbone, I see it, snap, son. Femur, gone. Spleen, in the trash, dude. I tossed it in the trash. You're gonna be so uncomfortable in this interrogation room. The number of times I'm gonna spin this table around, it'll have your head spinning, son. You won't even know what time it is anymore by the time I'm finished. It's gonna be crazy. So you think about the consequences. You think about that. Jail time, lifetime of jail. How does it feel to, and that's right, a lot of jail time, a lot of severe jail time, double jail time. You want to jack a car, triple XL the jail time, dude. You're gonna get, oh man, I hope you like cold showers. I hope you like soaps that drop on accident. I hope you like, a curfew. And I hope you like prison food. And I hope that you enjoy getting accustomed to becoming someone's biatch. I hope that these are all the things that we should be ramping up. I think this is the way to go. I'm not quite sure, but maybe some people say maybe don't take maybe encourage them, maybe reverse it. Maybe because punishment's not the answer. Some might say encourage them. Then if that's your school of thought, well then let them steal the cars. Maybe celebrate the fact that they're stealing cars. Maybe give out trophies for the best car thieves. But again, I guess the best, if you're really good at it, you should get compensated. Like if you're really good at it, like if it's movie good, if you're movie good, if you're doing it like the way they do it in movies, then maybe, But if it's like, if you're just doing it for the numbers, if you don't care about your craft, man, I'll say this, we'll be disappointed, and that's where the punishment comes in. So I either do your job really well, is what I'm trying to say, or don't do it at all. I don't even know what I'm saying, ladies and gents. The point is that when the crime comes with a punishment, that's when it stops. When it's rewarded, when high fives are flying around, when backs are being patted, when paychecks are being just slinging paychecks, people are getting, when people are making monies, that's the way so make cars not so easy to steal. Go heavy with the punishment. Maybe if they steal a car, you go after their families. You steal a car, we steal your minivan. And then the cycle, that's how you stop the cycle, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me. It's Wednesday. Just having fun out here. I hope you're having fun wherever you're. Again, if you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. No particular agenda. Sideways, up, down, north, south, east, west, every direction. And we do it on a weekly. In Greece, I did hear this, that in Greece, a man has been arrested because he's been charged, I believe, with the crime was he got caught because he apparently created videos, and it was paid to view, of the mentally challenged getting tortured, and people paid to view these videos. Apparently there's a market for this. So just when you think there's no market for that, you're like, what do I do? There's a market for literally everything. Now, obviously, I'm not in agreement with what happened in these videos or what happened to these people. Quite frankly, I'm surprised, but also at the same rate, like looking at it, humans capable of the most beautiful things, also capable of the most heinous acts. So apparently there's a market. So I don't even know what that falls under. Is that like, it's not, I don't know what was happening in the videos. I just read the article. Some abuse, physical abuse, probably some sexual abuse. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like they're doing maybe sex torture. I don't know what they're doing, but there's a market for it apparently, and they're mentally challenged people that they're doing it to. So that is, the question is, I guess, informed consent. The question is informed consent. Because like if they weren't mentally challenged, and if they were like, we're into like, because there are people that are like sub-genres of, whatever, and maybe some people are like into, a little bit of whipping, a little bit of, whatever, spit in my eyeball, fucking, pull a little bit of my hair, whatever, and then, degrees to that, right? So if somebody's like willingly, consensually doing something, so I think it's the informed consent situation. So if you're looking out there to make videos and make money, and you like some sort of like, I'm not saying like, maybe mentally challenged is probably like, that's like a whole, like you can't do it with mentally challenged people. I think that's a clear cut no. Perhaps there is an argument to be made for, physically challenged people, because if they're mental, let's say somebody is just like, he or she is good to go from the neck up, like the brain face is, it's a 10, that's a 10. You look at the face, you look at the head, the brain, it's all function, but neck down, numb, can't feel a thing, cannot feel a goddamn thing. But like up there, tip of the iceberg, great. What's below it, who knows? Just the empty void waiting to be filled somehow, but it's literally impossible. And maybe their wish is to just, maybe their wish is for somebody to like, I don't know, start light. Maybe somebody to come with a pair of tweezers and just like pull out a couple of hair strands. Maybe somebody, maybe a little bit of, like, oh, what is this? A little bit of like, maybe, a little bit of, just hit me in the shin, just slight kicks in the shin, for you can make perhaps videos of, people getting kicked in the shin. I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying anything that, I'm just saying like mentally challenged, no bueno. Physically challenged, a little bit more, it's a little bit, that's more probably in, because if they like it, what if they don't even feel anything? Maybe their wish is to, maybe they don't feel anything, maybe they're all jelly, maybe it's just like, and maybe their wish is to have you take a baseball bat to their knees or spine. It doesn't, because they don't feel anything. If they're willing and consensually giving informed consent, if they know what's about to happen, and again, I'm not saying do any of this, but all I'm saying is that, mentally challenged, it's hard to get that informed consent. Physically challenged, you might, and I'm not, apparently there's markets for things, but it doesn't even need to be that extreme. Maybe like a physically, maybe it could be like it could be a part of a jig-off. Jig-off. Like a magic off, like when two magicians get together and like, here's a trick, and then another magician goes, here's another trick to, outdo your trick, and they're jicking off, dude. So maybe it's a jick off, and that could be your like assistant. Great, tip top, fucking 10% up here, great. 90% below, numb. And part of your routine is to be like, here, I'm gonna stick these, like, you'd have, oh, here's a pole going through this guy's torso, he doesn't feel a thing, and that could be part of the old jick-off. So think about it. It's something, that's something to think about. But yeah, I was surprised to hear that there, but at the same rate, I'm not surprised, because like you read things, it's man, that is yeah. I guess it might fall into the category of, I don't know if the sexual abuse was simultaneously done with the physical abuse. I don't know if it would fall under like torture porn, but I guess it kind of, if you get, even if there's no I guess it is torture porn. That's what there is apparently that is apparently going on. So that's something to know and talk about, which is, fucking people are people be doing people, man. And that's Wednesday for you. I'll say this, ladies and gents, in Alberta, in Canada, much like many other cities, much like any other places, there's so many places in and around the world that are similar, simultaneously going through similar yet different things. But Alberta caught my attention because it's there's some news coming out of Alberta. It's a little bit of people are having discussions in regards to children. Alberta's, I believe, passed a law that, children, I didn't read too much into it, but my basic understanding of it is if you're like a minor, you can't be changing your pronouns or your name up until the age of 15, if I'm not mistaken, and 16 and 17 for other gender related issues and whatnot. I guess what they're saying is that children need their parents' permission if they want to, change a name, change a pronoun in school and whatnot, or get any sort of, treatments that'll alter their entire being, entire entity. So that's what it is. What's on the table? Essentially, the table's here, and what's on it is there. I read the article a little bit, but at the same rate, I'm just like a little bit like, I don't even know what I went on. It's what it is. They're saying that children should have, in the article it was arguing and saying that children should have the freedom and right to choose what happens to them and what they do with themselves. They call them, a term that I came across was the mature minors. The mature minors. That's what if the minor is mature, they should have the decision to do whatever they want. Because that's if the minor feels like they're mature, and if you feel like they're mature. Now, who decides that what's maturity and what is, so those are, they say it's subjective. They say that, because that you could say that's a mature 11-year-old man. If he wants to cut it off, if he wants to take puberty blockers, that 11-year-old knows. That's what they're saying. Parents are obviously like, no, pump the brakes, homies. Let's, up until a certain age, we gotta look out for our kids and protect their rights and their, because that's as the frontliners to any kids. Like, every kid, luckily, if they're lucky enough, they'll have a parent. Lucky enough, if they're lucky, they'll have two, or just people, family members, essentially parents. These are the frontliners of who is supposed to look out for the kids' best interest, because they're but that's the thing. So the argument is, or I guess the notion is, or whatever, is saying that mature minors can make certain decisions if they're mature, and if so if they want something, they should have. Essentially, it's going under like, I believe, child's rights, children's rights, freedoms. So, but I don't want to talk about just the gender stuff. I don't want to talk about like if you're a kid, let's talk about other stuff that kids want to do that we should let them do. I support. If kids want to, I'll say this, instead of just, because that's just one thing that might, interest kids. There's so many other things that kids might be interested in. Let's say your kid at 11, let's say your kid is 12, and maybe your kid is 7 years old, and he or she might show an immense amount of interest in bodybuilding. And she or he might come up to you and say that I want to be a bodybuilder. What does it take, Daddy? I want to be a bodybuilder. And they'll say that in their, in their baby voice, in their children's squeaky voice. They'll say that to you. And what's the best way to become a bodybuilder? And you'll say to them something along the lines of, with your, proper diet, exercise, good rest, all that, discipline, hard work, all that, if you want to be a professional bodybuilder. And then they'll ask, is there anything else that goes into it? Like, well, if you want to really make it to the top, if you really want to go the length, if you want to get the cake, baby, you got to take a little bit of juice. You got to go on hormones. You got to get on the steroids. You got to get on the good. You got to get on the sauce. You got to get juicy. And they're like, I'm committed. I'm dedicated. I'm going to do it. I'm sleeping right. I've been on my naps are in. I eat 7 times a day. It's good. I'm exercising, but I want the juice. And if they want to go on, if kids want to go on steroids at 11 years old to get thick, to get juicy, to get fucking swole. If your kids want to be swole at 11, it doesn't matter that they're 11. I say you support it, and that is if you are, support it. Make your kid look like a little tiny, just a little buff bulldog of a, or a little pit bull of a, like a little. Maybe not like, maybe they don't want to peak at 11 or 12, but like maybe they could get like a nice like prison bod. You know what I mean? Just like fucking 6-pack and just traps, dude, for days. No head, just traps. So, just support them. Say yes. Because if the kid wants to do that, it doesn't matter if the hormones for bodybuilding purposes, if they happen to alter their natural course of development, doesn't matter, because if they want it, they should get it. If they want to be, and that's the thing. Some people might say, yeah, I don't care what others might argue and say, yeah, let the frontal, lobe of the brain develop. To give them time until they're in their mid 20s at least to start, fiddling around with the physiology. Let the body take its natural course, because everybody's bodies are different, and when you're youthful and young, your hormones are fluctuating up and down and up and down. But if your kid has a dream of becoming a professional bodybuilder, let him do it. If your kid wants to at 10 or 11, if they identify if they want to get tattoos, man, just let them get it. If they want to, because they're mature kids, they're mature minors. If a 10-year-old wants to get a face tattoo, you let them. Because they fully understand we all know that 10-year-olds, at least some, fully comprehend the impact of their decisions in the long run. As because that's what it is. If I say this, man, if your 8-year-old or if your 14-year-old wants to get behind a car and start driving, if they just mastered the art of skateboarding, and if they're skateboarding, and if they already got a bike and they're 13 and they want to drive, because if they're mature enough, just let them do it. Just let them do it. I support it. If your kid is 12 years old and wants to start consuming alcohol or doing blow, a little bit of alcohol, if they're mature enough, you be the judge. If they're mature enough, they should be just piles of coke, a little bit of JD, some good tunes, and a good time. You know what I mean? If your kids want to gamble, out there, they got a couple of nice pretty little pennies in their pockets. You let your kids gamble. You let them put it all on the line. You put it on the line. Tell them to put it on the line. Tell them, let the kids gamble. If they're mature, if they understand what it is, let them do it. If your kids want to grab knives and guns, let them do it. Let them do it. Let them play with it. Let them get familiar. Nothing like a 7-year-old running around with a gun. But if they're mature enough. But I think these are. I think that's a little bit of the unfortunate aspect of this. If I can do one more of these, maybe another one. The unfortunate aspect of it is it impacts actually, because they say that they want to protect, trans people. But that is definitely something that, that is something you want to give a little bit more time to until people have, have a clear-cut idea of what it means to, have a body go through some changes. Because, and sometimes you'd find that, I find it not just even, not even like gender or anything like that, and not that, it's like anything else. Sometimes it's the parents that get involved too much that are actually driving these things. I'll give you an example. I was in and around a situation where I was observing. It doesn't matter when, where. The point is that I was overhearing a conversation between a young child and his, some sort of a coach situation. It was a coach situation and a child. And it wasn't a parent. It was a kind of like a coach with a kid, taking him to, we're gonna go to hockey practice. We're gonna do this, and the kid was kind of upset. Crying a little bit, telling his coach, his mentor, his guardian for the afternoon or whatever that he feels drained. He feels tired. He's been going to so many things. This kid was just doing hockey, was doing soccer, was doing 10 other things, and basically the gist of it is that he just wanted to have a little bit of time to spend playing with his friend who he's not got a chance to see for a long time, and that her schedule too is actually very busy. So there's sometimes the response that I heard from the adults, whoever was, it was great. Not to, but there is this emphasis sometimes on the wish fulfillment of our, of our personal wish fulfillment through the youngins. Sometimes we're like, oh, I gotta raise this, and it's not even that. It's not that they were the parents; they were just like probably hired as But it's one of those things that you see sometimes. Kids being pushed in certain directions by parents' desires and wants. Much, because kids will have ideas about this, that, and the other, and 2 minutes later they'll forget about it. But sometimes it's the wants and desires of the parents, and they're not so direct sometimes. It's like you wanted something, maybe you were a kid, you wanted something that you wanted to experience as you lived through your life, and now you get to somehow maybe pass that on or like live that through. So it's like, I don't even know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I don't have kids, but I have family members who've got kids, and community members who, it's one of those things where it's like, just let kids be kids, but at the same rate, it's up to you, I guess. If you want to let them, if you want to hand them a gun and just a little bit of dough to go, put it all on the roulette table. Let's let it spin. Let's let it, what are we even talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about, but fucking go full force. If your kid wants to do it, if they're mature, fucking let's go. That's something to be said about Alberta. And other, interesting stuff that's been happening in and around Canada, I'll say this, I'm not quite sure of, this is, I read this, I saw that Jordan Peterson was being censored apparently on YouTube. He's apparently being threatened to have his license revoked or removed if he doesn't oblige by some sort of arbitrary, social media training. And this is, for Canada, for Canada, this is, man, I hope more people pay attention to this. I hope somehow it doesn't matter this is my thing about it. I don't know Jordan Peterson. I've never met the guy. I've seen some of his interviews. I've seen some of his videos. Seems overall my very basic understanding, I don't know the fella, but he looks like he's doing more good than he's definitely doing more good than he might be doing whatever else other people might be saying he's doing. And that is a little bit, to have somebody censored or removed. I hope more Canadians realize that this is a point for us to realize that, this is very important, because, if you don't have freedom of speech, if you don't have freedom of expression, man, that is a slippery slope, son. And that is, so if, it's already started. This has already started in Canada. I don't know which direction it's got. I hope that more of us can somehow, I don't know how, but somehow put a stop to all this. It doesn't matter how you feel about a person or what you think of them, but removing somebody's ability to speak or be heard or have a voice is a very slippery slope. So no matter how you feel about a person, whether you agree with them, whether you disagree with them, whether you like them or you don't like them, it doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day, and this is a tough one. This is a tough one. It is about, I'd like to think in my mind that I'm an absolute freedom of speech, absolute freedom of speech sort of fella, that, I like to listen and hear everybody's perspective. I like to hear and, listen to everybody's point of view. That way I can, for myself, make the best decision in regards to whatever I'm facing. Or, if I'm getting information, I like to hear all the information and try to figure out what's the best piece of information. But if you're cutting people's voices for some reason that is not to your liking, that is that's been tried and tested in other countries and other places in the world. I don't know what that's, I don't know what I would think if he were to, I don't know. I'm not an expert in any of these things. If he loses his license because he, wants to decide to I don't know. I don't know what will happen. I hope he doesn't lose his license. I hope he doesn't get his, I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. Maybe he can, what are the options? He goes and agrees to do this online social media training, gets to keep his license, and continue to work. But then again, if he says another thing, they'll come in and say you need to get re-educated again. What if he were to, you know, I don't want to, yeah, I don't know what all I'm saying is this is concerning for Canadians, and that is something to think about, ladies and gents. But on another note, are you going out there? Because it's like it's winter season, but we are getting close to spring, and spring is around the corner as well. And are you the type of fellow or lady that likes to grab a drink and put a couple of ice cubes in it? Oh, you got a little nice mojito. You got a little nice. Rosé. You want to put a little bit of ice in that. You just want non-alcoholic beverages. Is that an orange juice in your cup? Is that what is that? Is that a sangria? You want to add a little bit of ice to that sangria, just to, you know, whatever you're drinking. Maybe it's got some ice in it. Are you the type that'll leave your cup down and, you know, come back 5 to 10 minutes later, only find the ice inside your cup is melted? Maybe not entirely, but slightly at least. Are you disappointed? Are you a little bit like, oh, I'm agitated. I'm feeling a little bit. Oh man, I feel like this ice isn't all as, it's not as promised as advertised. This ice is melting. I only wish there was some way I could know that my ice is melting. I stepped away from the table to mingle with my friends for far too long. I should have come back, grabbed my drink, and walked back to the group of friends, or wherever you're at. Maybe you're at a convention giving a speech for a new, you know, sex toy. Who knows? Whatever you're into. But now the ice is melted. But ladies and gentlemen, that was all before 2024. An all new ice, the ice of the future. The ice that'll yell back, that'll scream back, I'm melting, every time it starts to melt, so that'll notify you so that you could go grab your drink before the ice melts and your drink is now room temp. What a disappointment. A whole entire day ruined. Families shook. Families falling apart. Divorces. Moms going in one direction. Dads in another direction. Kids being torn. Who do I stay with? Mama or Papa? All over what? Melted ice, because that was the straw that broke the camel's back or something. Think about it. Let me know how you feel. Ice that yells, I'm melting, so that it doesn't fully melt, so that you're notified and grab your drink while it's cold. Enjoy it. That's what I say. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. It is Wednesday. Go have fun out there. Practice your free speech by doing it. You know, keep holding it down. Keep holding it up. And I'll be back again here on Friday. Where can you find these videos? Once again, every Wednesday and Friday, in no particular order. Go ahead and check out the catalog if you like. We're going through it. We are doing it together, learning, growing, having fun each and every day. Again, Wednesdays and Fridays. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to financially support the show, to see the show expand in all directions. And I'll be back here again on Friday. In the meantime, love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Peace out.